All right, everyone. Welcome to the AlienMyndz. That's the Alien Transmissionz podcast. Joined by Dennis, the Kidd Banda from Otaku. Basically, today we'll be talking about or discussing Otaku. And yeah, so Dennis, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. How's been your week? How's been work and stuff?
Work's been very good. I'm on a bit of a break.
Okay.
It was pretty hectic.
At least you've got a break. But I don't know when I was last on break, you know.
A self-induced break.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been good. Designing stuff.
Okay, yeah. Cool. All right, so basically, like I said on the show today, we'll be talking about Otaku. But first off, Dennis, I just want to find out, what are you currently playing?
Right now, I just got a PS4, so
okay, cool.
I'm currently playing the Uncharted collection.
Okay, all right.
I fired up Uncharted 2, the remaster, and man, game looks good. Looks really good. 1080p 60 FPS does wonders for that game.
All right.
It looks super sharp. It plays really well.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot how much I liked like the silly jokes.
Oh, in Uncharted 2. Like Uncharted 2 is my favorite. It's my favorite in the bunch. So yeah,
it's really good. Not North. Like I think that was like the first time most people, including myself, took notice of like voice actors.
Okay.
Not North.
I see.
Man.
Okay.
And I've also been playing. I can't help myself. Like I beat Metal Gear Solid 5 a few weeks ago, but I'm playing it again. Because Metal Gear Solid 5. It was my game of the year.
Oh, okay. I see.
It's brilliant.
Okay,
like, you can play that game for hours continuously.
Okay.
So good. What are you playing?
Oh, me. I just have like a huge backlog of games to go through. So basically these days, like I recently got Street Fighter. They recently released Street Fighter 5. And I was just messing around with the characters. Of course, it's sad that we don't have any real arcade mode where you can really verse against.
You bought a beta.
Imagine that. I bought a beta. I'm one of the beta testers. So anyway, what I'm doing is I'm just playing the survival mode. So you basically have go through 10 characters, which should be the easy mode. 30 characters, which should be hard. The hardest mode should be going through 100 characters, but then there is no real satisfaction, of
I hear the AI isn't like very good.
Yeah, the AI isn't really good because I'm an average Street Fighter player, but I'm able to get away with a lot of stuff. So
watching
the computer
videos,
won't punish me and stuff.
Watching videos, I noticed like I'm watching stuff and people basically it almost looks like training mode almost.
Exactly,
which is sad.
Which really is sad. So what I plan to do is just to look for a couple of guys and basically be just play with the game, play the game with them, and probably learn a thing or two.
Nah, for real. Let's scream, man. Like we've got a very small but very passionate Street Fighter
Okay,
like,
we'll definitely.
And I'm hoping like this one catches on because it's gotten a bit easier. I heard that they reduced the link frame data to something like I think 3 frames. There's a 3-frame like
exactly.
Whereas Street Fighter 4 had like 1 frame.
Link.
Yeah, so it's like if you
so
basically
link.
It's like for people who don't understand like link frame data, Mortal Kombat has the previous Mortal Kombat had a pretty lax link frame data. Basically, like it was like this is me doing button presses like dun 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 dun, like you can link combos.
Yes.
Whereas Street Fighter was dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? Like that's
exactly,
what it was like. So now the new Street Fighter, you can basically go dun 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 dun, which is good.
Be able to combo with that. All right, cool. So yeah, that's basically what I got recently. Also got what's this game that was remastered, Gravity Rush as well. It's a beautiful game. It's a cool game, but I really need to get to play the stuff that I didn't get to play last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do that. Hopefully when I find some time. Yeah.
What didn't you play last year?
Metal Gear Solid 5, which you mentioned, haven't finished that.
Just
imagine that. I haven't finished Bloodborne, but I'm just going to stop there because it's the list is huge, and I call myself a gamer. It would be really embarrassing.
My biggest one is the game I was like super hyped for, which is Fallout 4. Like that's my game. I haven't played it. I'm waiting for because Bethesda games, man. Like I'm one of those people who like. It's like like 2 weeks off.
Exactly.
I don't know anyone. I would be stuck in my room playing Fallout 4 for like 2 weeks straight.
Okay.
Come out and be like, oh, son.
Exactly.
So yeah, I want that.
Okay, cool. All right. Any games that you're looking forward to that are coming out soon?
Ooh, coming out soon. Well, I haven't played Street Fighter. That I'm really looking forward to playing. A big one, which I think might be my game of the year this year. I know it's preemptive and early to say that, but like considering the last game, which took me by complete surprise, XCOM 2.
XCOM 2. Okay, I saw the reviews for that. I think that was yesterday, and it was
very high.
Really,
the thing with XCOM is that it's one of those games that you can't really sell it because it's anything you say sounds like a negative.
Okay,
really.
I see.
If you're into it, you're into it, and if you try it out, like honestly, I don't know anyone who's actually tried it and been like, this sucks.
Okay,
like everyone who tries it just gets sucked in.
Wow.
Like,
okay, I better try it out.
It's very difficult.
Okay.
It's turn based. People don't like turn based. It's turn based tactical strategy. It doesn't have a story per se.
Okay.
But like the personal stories that you get from like, because it's called permadeath. So like when a character dies, they're dead, and then you build up the character's abilities. But if they die, they're dead. Like they're gone.
Oh my goodness.
They're gone. So like what I like doing is like maybe I name the characters after my friends, or at first I named my character after my friends in XCOM Enemy Unknown, but then like that like went haywire because that was my first playthrough. Okay. So the next playthrough I had, I named after like game developers and stuff, and that was like really fun. Like seeing like David Jaffe and Hideo Kojima get really good and then die at the end. That was fun.
Okay, cool.
The big one I'm looking forward to, which was my most anticipated from E3, is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, okay, all right. Is that still scheduled for 2016 release?
I think it is still scheduled.
Okay. All right.
Sony need a big exclusive.
But don't they already have that with Uncharted?
Well, they do, but like this one is more like I think this one is more like them. It's basically like a Quantum Break type situation where like you can get a whole bunch of new fans invested in a new franchise. You know what I mean? So like you get people invested. Like Horizon can have like Horizon 2, 3, 4, 5 for like the PlayStation 4 and possibly the PlayStation 5.
Exactly.
Because like we're growing up as gamers and like there's kids coming up and while we have like the love for Uncharted, these new kids are coming in and they're like, oh, it's Uncharted. Maybe they've played it, maybe they went into it. But like Horizon is like their new thing.
Exactly.
And it can really, from what I've seen, it's new. Like it's the gameplay is, I haven't seen a AAA like big expansive game like that. Dragon's Dogma is kind of close, but that was niche. And Monster Hunter is pretty much that, but that's also like a huge niche. Yeah. And I want to try something like that. So Horizon is the big one. The big one. To play.
All right, cool. For me, if you were to ask me, the one I'm really looking forward to, of course, apart from Uncharted, Persona 5. I don't know if you're into the Persona series.
I just watched the anime and I've seen gameplay clips and I'm super, like, I really, really want to play Persona. I'm getting.
That's the one game, like, I'm definitely sure I'll be able to drop everything else that I'm doing just to play that game. Yeah,
that's another like 200-hour game.
You know? Yeah. Okay. I guess we can get started with the big stuff. Looking at time, we've got limited time, but I guess I can still sneak this in. Anime, TV series. What are you currently watching? Let's start with anime.
Anime. This season, there's like 3 really good shows.
Okay.
As opposed to like last season, where there like a bunch of like average to good, like a lot of them, which is like I think that's a good season. Like when anime is producing that, and just to point out, like right now, anime is in what the industry is calling it a bubble. Okay. Because anime is huge in Japan.
Yes, it is.
It's huge in America. We've been lucky with the anime industry in the past 2-3 years. Okay. Because we've been getting hits that are big with the casual fans and the hardcore fans. Stuff like Attack on Titan was big for anime. That was really good. Like it was, you know, I keep saying this, and every time I say this, people are like, what? Like it was beating House of Cards. I think season what season is House of Cards on?
House of Cards should be on 3. We should be going into 4.
I think it was beating House of Cards season 3 on Netflix for views. At one point, like Attack on Titan, and then like we got One Punch Man last year, which was huge, which is currently like the highest rated show on IMDb, like above Breaking Bad and like The Wire.
Oh my goodness!
So like people are watching anime, which is very good for the industry. Yeah. Cool. This season, the big show is Erased. Erased is like a murder mystery show. This guy can like go back in like like bursts of 5 to 10 minutes, and he doesn't know what's happening, but he knows every time he goes back in like 5 or 10 minutes, something bad's going on.
Oh my goodness!
So he's like looking around, like, what's going on? I need to like fix something. Sometimes he fixes it, sometimes he doesn't. So this all happens in the first episode, so it isn't a spoiler. Like something big happens, and he gets thrown back to the time, because he's like a 27, 29-year-old like cynical dude. Like things aren't really going well for him. He's working at a pizza store. And something bad really happens, and he gets thrown back to the time he was like 10 years old.
Ooh.
So he's like, whoa, did I mess up my life that much? Like, what am I supposed to fix?
Yeah.
So that's very like, it's, oh man, it's hitting hard. It's really good.
That's good.
The other one I'm watching, which people should really watch, I can't recommend this one enough. And this is for like the animation fans. Lupin the Third, the new Lupin the Third anime. It's a co-production by the an Italian studio and the Japanese anime studio, so it looks really good. Like animation wise, it's so well animated, and it's really funny. Like people who like the whole Lupin, like he's a quirky criminal guy with like a samurai and like a gruff cop dude, and then there's Fujiko, who's like the sexy vixen girl. It's really fun.
Alright. Yeah.
So I'm watching.
Okay, cool.
What are you watching?
Me, in terms of anime, I'm like far behind. Like, I am probably not like where you're calling them seasons and stuff like that. I would probably be watching something maybe that you guys probably watched maybe some 5 years ago and stuff. But what I'm currently watching, you remember I asked you about this last year, Durarara. The second one.
The
second one. That's the
one
that I'm
show.
Watching. And that's right. And what else? Also tried starting what's that one? Psychopaths. Psychopaths as well. Just started that. What else? Yeah, I think those are the two major shows that I'm trying to watch right
That's
now.
an interesting combination.
Okay.
How are you liking Psychopaths so far?
Well, I've only seen 2 episodes so far.
It's pretty slow in the beginning.
It's slow. Yes, that's one thing. It's slow. So you find that I'm probably going through. Of course, I like Durarara, so I guess that's the one that I'm really watching.
Durarara is like really cool. Like
it is.
It's the one of the, there's a few shows, because like I'm a critic. There's a few shows that I can't explain why, and the only explanation I have is like it's just cool.
Exactly.
All the characters are just cool.
Yeah. So anyway, that's basically what I'm watching. Yeah. When it comes to anime. So anyway, I think we can get into the meat of for the podcast today, which is basically Nerd Otaku. So what is Nerd Otaku? People probably out there trying to find out, what is this Nerd Otaku we've been hearing about? What is Nerd Otaku?
Okay, Nerd Otaku, basically it's a group of friends who like we decided like we just used to hang out, and I guess like Lusaka is really small.
Yes.
And like I'm a friend of this person, I'm a friend of this person's a friend of this person, and then they're like, oh hey, meet my friend, and then like the best way I can describe it is one of my friends, I brought one of my friends to Noah. I brought him to go see Jabu.
Okay.
And he brought his friends as well. So I'm like, I get to the door and I'm like, hey, this is Noah, and then it's like, hey, and I'm like, wait, how do you? Oh, okay, like that's pretty much what Nerd Otaku is. Like we realized, like the circle is pretty big, and like we know each other, and like we bond on everything nerdy. Yeah. And otaku based, basically, like anime, games, manga, K-dramas, J-dramas, like the comics, the whole bunch. Like, so we decided just like we were already quite organized, but we decided like officially organize it so we can like have events and that kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, it basically started with Singombe, I believe. Okay. Yeah, Singombe started like organized.
Singombe seems to be organizing a lot of stuff.
Singombe is like the load bearing wall, everything. Okay. I started with Singombe, like he organized us into like a proper unit.
Okay, I see.
Way back when, I'm thinking like 2009.
Okay, because I was about to ask you when the group started.
Yeah,
so,
like
okay,
I think 2009 or
2009 or 10.
Yeah,
okay.
And like the OG guys joined, and like we used to meet up and stuff, and that was really fun.
Okay.
And like we had the Facebook group, which is like the main pillar of Nerd Otaku.
Okay.
At the time, like for me it was anime. Like gaming was fairly big, but like anime and nerdy stuff and comics wasn't really that big and as accepted as it is now.
Yes, that's true.
So like, you know, like we wanted a place, or we wanted people who we can be like, hey, you know, let's talk about you know, like I wouldn't feel free to talk about like High School DxD on my Facebook page, you know what I mean?
It's true. It's
you know,
true.
like, but Nerd Otaku is the place where I can be like, man, High School DxD, man, those boob physics, you know what I mean? Like, I never be like, yeah, like that. That's what we wanted basically, like to feel free in our nerdiness, and yeah, and that's pretty much how it started. I really got invested in it when I came back from college, which was 2012.
Okay.
I got inspired by like the conventions that I went to that side.
Okay.
The feeling I got the first time I like stepped into an anime convention is like, it's unexplainable.
Okay. Where was that?
That was in Adelaide.
Oh, okay.
At the time, it was quite small for what it is now. Like there were like I think like 5,000-6,000 attendees.
I see. Okay.
Which is that's big, but
it
like
is,
for
I was about to say
that's big, but like for the scope that they were going for, that was quite small. And,
I see.
Right now it's like the biggest anime convention in like south of the equator.
Okay,
it's like huge.
Okay.
So the first time I went there, I just it felt like home, you know.
Okay.
Like I saw like a bunch of like young teenagers, I'm talking like 12, 11, 13, just feeling free in their nerdiness, and I'm like, this is like, I want this, you know, like I want this feeling, like like you can basically talk to anyone,
and they'll understand you
and be into it,
exactly,
and be like,
not judge you or anything like that.
You're really into this, you know, like anything obscure or whatever. Like I really wanted that. And there were also like a lot of new people, you know, like there's those people who like you can't really like full on like call yourself a nerd or something, but you're like you're into it and you're getting into it, and that really inspired me, because I know I know what it felt like being like feeling like I'm the only person who likes this, and I don't have anyone to talk to. And seeing people's faces light up when they're like, oh, what, you like Pokemon? And, you know, like that thing, like I wanted that, so I really wanted to bring new people into it as well.
All right. Cool. So, so for the group itself, you like you explained, it's a group of friends, right? Who are into almost the same stuff. Of course, basically, I wanted to say the nerd culture, but basically stuff like anime, gaming, and stuff like that.
Yeah, pretty much nerd culture.
All right, cool. So, would you say that it's a group where, say for example, someone could join? Or
that's the main idea. Like it's a group that anyone is supposed to join. Although there's like the feeling we have is that we're pretty close, right? Like we're very close to each other. We are friends. You know, people say that, but we actually are friends. Like outside of like the nerdy stuff we do, we are just friends, we like to have that feel. You know, like. The anyone who's attended the meet knows what I mean. Like the best example I can give is we've never had a report of stolen items at any of the meets.
That's true.
And people, you know, nerds, we're freaking reckless. Dude comes with his and we like gadgets. Dude comes with his iPhone 6 and just leaves it on a table somewhere and goes to play Street Fighter this other side and goes whatever. And then, you know, someone picks it up and is like, whose iPhone is this? Right? Like literally going on, whose iPhone? Like that's the nature we have. So while like we really want to invite as many people, but we really want someone to come in with like the right mindset of like we're accepting you as a friend and we'd like you to join us as a friend type thing, so we can have that feel. As we grow bigger, I know that's hard to keep, like every community, like it's hard to keep that community type thing. But I think it's really important. Like at the core of it, I think it's really important.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at any community that's big on that, like say NeoGAF, there's a certain yes, NeoGAF is elitist, but they're like that because like that's them, right? Like that's the, if you want to join them, you're like them, and you will join them because you're like that.
Yeah.
If you're different, you probably get offended or something. Yeah. And in Otaku is the same. Like, can you handle stupid anime sex jokes? If you can't, then you know. But like that's basically what it is.
All right, cool. Then as a group, do you have any, like, is there a leader of the group? Okay, that's the first part of the question that I want to ask. And then the second is, does Otaku have probably some objectives or goals that it would like to accomplish? Say, okay, fine, this is what this group is trying to accomplish or do. So first off, does the group have a leader? Then second...
I think the closest thing we have to a leader is probably Singombe.
Okay.
He's like the... Like I said, the load-bearing war.
Okay.
Of Otaku.
All right, cool.
Although he doesn't like to think of himself as that.
All right.
But
so there's no deliberate...
There isn't any like proper structure or whatever.
Okay.
People have certain things that they're super into. For example, I'm really into like the whole community, bringing people in things. Yeah. So I champion events and stuff.
Okay.
And then there's guys who are like really into like, let's say like shooting games community. Yes. Someone's really into like PC learning game community, and like Colin and Henry.
Shoutouts to Henry.
Yes. There's there's people who are really into like the fighting game community, which I'm into it as a fan because I love that. Yeah. But like just people who are really into like the FIFA side, people really into like the anime, like this we I guess automatically delegated ourselves somehow.
Okay.
So like if someone comes in and they're like for example, my girlfriend's really into like tokusatsu, the like the Power Rangers, Sentai stuff.
Okay.
Like she's really into that. And I know a few people who are as well. So like I'm sure like if she gets into it so much, she would like champion that as well.
Okay. See.
So like if you come in and you just find a niche or whatever, and you champion that, and you do that thing.
All right.
So that's kind of how we operate.
Okay.
Basically we just run on passion, man.
Okay,
passion and
passion. Okay.
Passion and energy drinks.
Passion and energy drinks. I like that. Yeah. The other part of the question was on the objectives. Are there any deliberate or?
I can't speak for everyone else, but I know like basically my objectives. I'm a dreamer, so like I want big like conventions, man. I want parents. Well, let me lay this properly, I guess. There's a few things that I really want. I know the power of games. I know the power of media.
Yes.
I grew up on games. I know what it did for me. I'm a feminist, so like that. Like I want to use games and anime as a way to, especially games, because they're like technology wise. Like I want to use that as a way to, like attract more females and people who aren't really into technology to get in, to be attracted to technology. You know? We don't want. I've seen this at schools where like people are learning how to use Microsoft Word at college.
Exactly.
And
that's what's happening.
And that's like, it seems unfathomable, but you see it and you're like, wow, like that's a core skill that someone needs. And they teach you Word, but you can't teach Word. Let's be honest. You can't really teach Word. You learned Word because you messed around with it.
Exactly,
you had a computer and you were just typing stuff, and you learned that and the only way you can get that passion to like mess around with Word is if you're into technology.
Exactly.
And games are like the funnest part of technology.
Exactly.
So like if you get someone into games, they can get into technology, and it forms an equal ground for learning this stuff and using this stuff. Like that's one of my like main I guess personal goals. I know it's a good teaching mechanism. It really helps. And there's been a few studies on this very recently where like gamers are more resilient than most people. That's why we thrive in the workplace.
I see.
Because school teaches you that school teaches you to memorize, and reiterate your memorization.
Exactly.
Which is not how life works. You don't memorize stuff.
Yeah.
As a kid, you ride a bike, you fall, you get up, you ride it again, you fall on the same bruise. It hurts harder, but you get up again.
Yeah.
That's a gamer's mentality. When you're playing Dark Souls,
yes,
right? You go to the same place, same boss, same NPC kicks your ass. You come back, you do it again. That's the mentality gamers have in life, right? You're doing something, you fall. What do most gamers do? We do it again
until,
and that's a like a core like a core thing that people need in life.
Yeah.
And gamers learn that instinctively. You don't really think about it, but when you like, if you go back and think, man, I should have quit there, but you didn't. That's something that games taught you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
And that's true. Anime and TV series allow, most nerdy people are open-minded. Like we see things differently than most people. We aren't. It's very hard to like pigeonhole us or group us into some sort of like a group think. That's why we have a lot of debates. Exactly, if someone looked at our group, they'd be like, man, these guys don't like each other, but we really do. Yeah. We have debates to learn. We peek into each other's minds.
Exactly. Yeah.
So someone can't come to us and like we can't be food into a cult. Exactly, because we will ask the dude, what are you doing? What are you saying? And that's a good mentality to have, especially like in this election season.
Yeah.
If you ask most of us in the group, like if you ask us like political questions about our country's politics, it's very like eye-opening. Like we know when we're being bullshitted.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's something that like anime and TV shows have taught us, because we're open-minded. We get exposed to the world.
Exactly.
We can't be put into, so like those are the bigger like big ideas, but like my like the I guess the smaller goals are like having a bigger convention. I personally would like to have anime in the cinemas here.
Okay.
Like
that would be cool.
I have a few connections with like the anime industry and stuff, and I would like to have that. I would like to have a game store here. Like that would be great if something like that happened. Like a big game store. I go to Monday Hill or East Park, and like there's a store for games,
just exclusively
a store for
games.
Anime. A store where I can buy my movies and TV shows and stuff like that. Like that's cool. Basically like those are the like I want like nerdiness and stuff to be ubiquitous in our country.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, that's good. You mentioned earlier that you in the group basically what you champion is events, and part of what we have as events are tournaments. Now there is this question, I think I must have seen this on Facebook. When it comes to tournaments, some people feel that that maybe Nerd Otaku is becoming too commercial. I don't know how or why people are saying that. Maybe they look at the prices, maybe they don't think that it's fair, that maybe the price that they pay for admission is so much, and maybe what they get out at the end of the day is so little. Maybe that's the reason why they're doing that. But I don't know what you probably have to say on that point.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. It's it's the age-old, how do you balance the business side of things from like the passion side of things, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I noticed this, like it's been happening. The examples I have are based on games and stuff, because that's what I consume. Like with IGN, right?
Yes.
I wasn't very big on IGN, but there's guys I like from IGN, and the guys I like from IGN were like Mitch Dyer, Greg Miller,
who no longer is there.
Yes, no longer. And those guys, Greg and Colin Moriarty.
Yes.
Like they realized that what they want to do isn't what IGN would allow them to do. Exactly. So they left, which is a huge risk, and made Kinda Funny games, which I love, right? Like, cause like they're doing what they love. But even at Kinda Funny, they're battling that whole business versus passion, which is something that we are fighting as well. Like it's like we want to grow, but growth means we need to like the realities of growth are like money and budget, right? Like that has to come in. Like it's expensive and it's time consuming, and we actually need when we're organizing these events, we like you're part of it. You know what it's like. We actually have to like sit down, like, okay, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this? Like a proper company type scenario, right? Like you have to do that, otherwise it's going to fall apart. So that, like, the bigger we get, the harder it is to keep that that hobbyist like feeling. Which is what we want. So like, I guess it's a sacrifice, right? I think what we've done is, unfortunately for us, like the organizing guys, I think we've sacrificed our like hobbyist fun enjoyment of these events to make them run. Because we don't get paid for this.
No,
it's
we don't. It's passion driven.
Very passion voluntary.
Voluntary thing.
We don't get paid for it. So unless we hire people to run it, then it would have that feeling. I think personally, this is my opinion. I think the reason why people feel that way is because the first few events we had were like, we were very involved in them as participants. Like I was freaking out over seeing combos in that was Street Fighter Cross Tekken and stuff. You know, like I'm part of it, and you know, like Kunda's part of it as well. And you know, Jabu's part of it. Like people are part of the fun. But now, because we're organizing, we aren't really part of it. And you know, and someone's like, "Hey, kid," and I'm like, you know, I can be like, "Hey," but then in the back of my head, I'm like, the power cable is like, I don't, you know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So you really look like you're not really into it, and that drives down the mood. It really does. I know what that feels like. Where like, oh, hey, you know, you meet someone and they're like busy at work or something, and it's really, we do our best to try to, you know, not give that off, but it's very hard the bigger it gets.
It's hard,
and you know, it brings me to something that I've been passionate about, where like we're getting old, like, you know, like the OG the Otaku people are getting older. You know, some of us, some members are starting families, some are getting married, some are getting engaged, you know, getting jobs, some have 2 jobs. People are getting busier, getting older, don't have the energy and time for it, and the only way that I think the biggest solution is like getting new like 14, 15, 16 year olds to run it. I think that would really help. The more like younger people like really get into it, and we have a few, like, you know, like Munu is coming in, Good Mwelele, you know, Emmanuel, Zulu is there like helping and stuff. So you know, there's people coming in, like Chimora. But we need more. We definitely need more, I think. I think that would help it.
Okay, cool. And on the when it comes to, I don't know what you can say about maybe the prizes, entry fees and stuff like that.
Oh, the prizes. Well, like as we said, like the bigger events get, the more pricey they are. So like in the past we've been lucky with certain venues getting certain deals, but like the bigger it is, the more they're like, these guys, you know, like they see it and they're like, wait a minute, we can get something from, you know. So it's getting more expensive, and inflation, man, you know how it is. We ideally, if it was up to me, all our events would be free. Like if it was up to me, but that can't work. That
can't work because you need money for, like, you know, the venue. The venue will also demand things like
and we
power and stuff like that.
And we do like we basically we pay for some things with our personal money. That's not in the budget in certain instances. So it's hard to do, but like we try to make it as easy as possible. Like we try to make the barrier of entry as low as possible for everyone. But it gets harder the bigger the events. I think the best solution we can have for that is make subsets events, right? Like make a Street Fighter event, make a FIFA event, make a this event. That way the event is smaller than the big thing, and the barrier of entry is like super lowered. But for like the big things, I honestly don't see the prices going lower, because even like, and this is the way it is internationally as well, like Anime Expo, I remember, I think this was 2010, I think it was $70 for a 3-day pass to Anime Expo. And that was considered cheap. Now I think it's like $130.
You know,
because you know, like it's getting harder. Like things are bigger. Stuff is more pricey. The people who go to those events realize that it's a big event. You know, like when they invite an artist, they realize they're not usually beforehand. It was like, oh, it's just an anime thing. Yes. But now they're like, no, this is Anime Expo. There's going to be like 7, 8, 9,000 people this side. Like, this is a big event, and you have the money type thing. It's an out prestigious thing, right?
Yeah.
So like it's just the realities of life, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And for like prize money, we always try to make it like like from entry fee and stuff, we put it into the prize pool type thing.
Yeah.
More than once we've injected our own cash into the prize pool to make it more lucrative. Just to try and attract, I guess, a newer crowd, or just to appreciate, to appreciate our community.
Okay.
I would really like to start like a proper esports scene, but that needs like super dedication, and the community also needs dedication, because you can't have a league with players going, I don't feel like playing today. You know what I mean? Like they need to be dedicated like to the core. So do we, because it's a cycle. Yeah. The more I see the dedication, the more we put into it, type thing. Yeah. But that's definitely something we I personally, I should say, I'm super into, especially with the fighting game community, because I'm passionate about that.
Okay, cool. And probably just to add on, especially when it comes to like the competitors, I think that it would be important for them to like come out and support the events, regardless of probably what the prize pool is. Maybe they might not be happy with how much it might cost, but just attending the event, you get to meet a lot of people. You get to learn.
Very true.
When you're out there in a competitive event, it's pretty different. When I was telling this to Michael Tembo last week, I can beat Marvel vs. Capcom, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom on very difficult. Like, I can go through that, but I play someone like Mwelele, he would be able to beat me up. So it's very different when you actually play someone,
and it's different at a tournament scene.
At a tournament scene, the pressure.
Really good players like choke, and I've seen players who aren't that good thrive on the pressure and beat people who choke. So I love that.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
It's all about meeting people and just the whole sense of community. So for people out there who might be listening to this and fighting game enthusiasts and stuff, just support the the tournaments, the events, and as we grow later on, things will become better. Because I know Evo, when Evo started, it was pretty small. It was called B4, I think. Yeah, I've just forgotten what the.
No, I remember that, and that's a big inspiration to me. Like I follow some of the Evo coordinators on Twitter. I've been following them for a while and seeing how they started and where they've been. And to be fair, we've been growing every year as well.
Exactly.
Our events, we've been, every year. Even now, if you ask me now, like, is your next event going to be bigger than the next one? Yeah. My answer is always no. Okay. But then I've always been surprised every year. Okay. We literally like double every year. Wow. And it's like, like it's surprising to me, I guess. But like the community, they have the passion for it. I know they do. They really do. And I've gotten a lot of the opposite, where we like to think some of the fighting game players come for the prize money, but they don't. They really don't. Okay. They just want that feel, that tournament feel, right? And that tournament feel can only be given if, I think it's people, crowd. We need that crowd to get that tournament feel. Yeah. And then it's also a cycle. The more crowd, the more money, the more people, like the more rewards for everyone. Exactly. Like the crowd gets a bigger show because there's more on the stake. The players get more because there's more prize money. We get a bigger community, which is what we want. So it's just a whole cycle. So more people, more prize money, a better tournament structure, all that.
Okay. That's cool. So please, people, support the events. Just come out and compete, and you would definitely be guaranteed a good time. Okay, so I think at this point in time, I will just move on to the questions I'd asked people on Facebook to ask maybe whatever questions that they might have, just to drop them in my inbox. I have a question from I have some questions from Shahid. Let's see. We can start with the favorite thing about being a member of Nerd Otaku. What's your favorite thing about being a member of Nerd Otaku?
That's a really good question. Okay. My favorite thing. I think. Oh man, there's a bunch. My favorite thing though is that I can like wake up at 03, or like I'm playing something at 03, and be like, dudes, this boss, you know, and then someone's gonna reply. I'm like, that's cool. I don't know many people who can do that. I think that's really cool. I think that's really, really cool.
All right. Next question. I guess we can do like a quick fire one. What's the most annoying stereotype people use when describing you guys? I guess they're Otaku. What's the most annoying stereotype?
We used to get it a lot. It stopped now, the bigger we've gotten, but the whole stereotype. This one's very personal for me, especially. People like to ask me very technical, like computer questions. I am not a techie, like at all. I am the as Java likes to say, I am the definition of an end user. Like like I have the guys like, oh, there's something wrong with my internet, and I'm like, oh, go to network properties. I'm like, what? You know, like that's me. Yeah, like we're different, right? Like we're all different.
Okay, cool. How much of your time do you spend on watching anime a week? How much of your time do you spend watching anime a week?
Ooh. It's a deep question.
Okay.
Exposing me here, Shahid. It depends.
Okay.
I guess I have time. Like, it varies. A few weeks ago, I was in like, it was like Oscar season, so I was like into movies. Sometimes I'm like into games or like into anime. Basically, like most weekends, like today, say I'll probably play or watch anime like the whole day.
Wow.
Today.
Okay.
Something like I put aside a day for just that, and then if I'm really hooked on something, like a weekly show, I'll definitely like watch it every like night, like at dinner or something.
I see.
So I don't know, 8 hours.
Wow, 8 hours. Okay, we get it. Okay, that's your answer, Shahid, on that particular question. Okay, we'll move on to Kevin Messi Tembo. Kevin Messi Tembo has a number of questions. The first one that he asks is, I'll just read this off my Facebook page. I wanna ask. Okay, fine. He says them, but you're here. What plans, if any, they have to make people aware about gaming and how they can make Zambians, maybe even the corporate world, take gaming more seriously?
That's a very good question. And that's something I really want to do. Like I said, for anime, I really want more people to be exposed to anime. It's a whole medium. It's a whole new medium. There's a whole lot out there that people can get into. I really want to get it into cinemas. I really do. And I guess I'm showing my hand a little here. I really like for the Japanese movie festival.
Yes,
I'd like to work with them to get 1 or 2 anime movies shown there. That way, at least, because there's a huge crowd that goes to those films. That way, more people I think would like get exposed to animation. For games, I want to use I've been working on this, man. It's like 2 years now. I'm slacking. I want to I want to have like talks or whatever with university lecturers and teachers. I've been trying to think who I should target this to. Initially I wanted to do it at schools to talk to the kids, but I don't think that will work. The talks I want to have are to what I was explaining, how games teach core life, like core life beliefs and and stuff like that. Talking to lecturers and teachers, like teaching them, how games teach people not to give up, to be resilient, to work harder, to try again, to explore new things, like that. Games tell you this is the path, go this way, and you're like, nah, I want to check, stuff like that. If I use that angle and show the teachers and lecturers like games can do this, they can use that. They're smarter than me, like they're teachers, right? They can use that in their own way to teach, especially young kids and girls, those core things to use in life and in school as well. And I think that can be changing. Like, it can change the syllabus, it can change the way people are taught. I think that using that would really, like, that's the broadest of broad audiences, right? I think that's the best. That's what I would like to do. And also the another way is using our events as well. Yeah, we have had a few offers and like suggestions, and you know, we're getting bigger. LSCon's coming up. You know, there's more corporate people coming in and stuff. They're getting to know us. Like, we can't not be noticed. Yeah, and in pop culture right now, nerdy stuff is in, right? Whether it's genuine or not, it is in. So
it is. I mean, all the comic book superhero movies.
Yes, like right now, people are watching comic book superhero movies. My mom knows who Deadpool is. You know, like people like it's in right now. Yeah. So if we just like you know, more explanation of what that stuff is, telling people what it is, getting them to know more. Yes, I definitely would like the corporate world to know more, which would really help as well with events, right? Like, yeah, it really would.
Okay. The next question, I guess it's almost maybe something that we've talked about before, but personally, he says that Kevin continues with this question. Personally, they are the most recognizable gaming community in Lusaka. Why don't they come up with an esports league or something to encourage more competitive gamers in terms of one-on-one trophies, achievements, high scores, etc.? So I guess we touched on the esports.
Yeah, we did touch a bit on it, but I can reiterate. Again, it's more of a you know, a feedback loop type thing where the community needs to come to us, tell us exactly what they would like. We take that in, organize it into a more you know, structured state. Yeah. Give it to them, and it goes back. And then there's a lot of people. I'm the best example. There's a lot of people in the fighting community who aren't like pro fighters but love it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
I think I like it more than the players, to be honest. Okay. Right? Like, it's so fun. So like the more of that there is, there's a bigger crowd. It gets better. I think it's just a feedback loop. We just need to like meet up. I guess it's up to us, right? Like I think us two are the ones who have to champion that. Exactly, like, we're the ones who are into that stuff. So I guess that's a challenge to us.
I guess so. Yeah. Anyway, for my part, I mean, it's a long time since I did Sunday afternoon fights, but that's basically just to bring the community together. You know, just start small, have like weekly or bi-weekly tournaments, and then from there see how it goes. But so basically that's what we're trying to do. So I guess we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. We're definitely getting
let's challenge ourselves. Let's do that. Let's make FIFA 5 a thing.
All right, we'll do that. We'll definitely do that. And then lastly, he says the majority of he says the majority of them are PC gamers. I guess, you know, the Otaku members. Is that true?
Actually no.
Yeah.
The thing about PC gamers is they're very loud and very proud.
The superior console race. Okay. The question is, do they encourage piracy? What's their take on piracy? Do they feel it's justifiable because our economy, or it's vice that, or it's a vice that has to be dealt with?
I actually participated in like Otaku had an article on this. Do you remember it?
Otaku.
No, Kotaku.
Kotaku. Yes. No, I don't think I saw that.
See it? Yeah. That was, I think, a few months, 6-7 months ago.
Okay.
I participated in that. Like I think it was Patrick Klepek was asking different people about like do they pirate games and why. And I participated in that. Like sent a huge email.
Okay.
Zambia as a region, because like there's publishers, right? Publishers publish games, take them to stores, those stores sell them.
Exactly.
And there are regions that they expect to sell in.
Yes.
From a very honest standpoint.
Yes.
We should pirate all our games.
Okay.
Because they don't care about our region.
Us.
They don't think we are a region. They don't count Africa. They say Europe, Australia. They've started going into Asia a little bit now, but like they don't count them. So from like do they care? They don't. About Africa. They don't. So what should we do? We should pirate all our games. So they don't care, right? Okay. But us being the people who we are, we like to support things we love.
We love, yeah.
And even if it's a drop in an ocean,
yeah,
it feels good. It feels good for me to be one of those numbers that has given Star Wars Episode 7 it's 1.7 billion, whatever. You know, it feels good. I like that feeling.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you can afford it, buy your games. You know, buy merchandise. In my room, we've got posters and stuff. Like, you know, like if you can afford it, do it. If you can't, I guess it just depends on your own moral ethics.
Yeah.
If you feel bad about it, don't do it. Like personally, I've had the stance of, because I have some disposable income and I get impatient sometimes. I do pirate some games, but every game I pirate, when I get money, I always buy.
Yeah.
I always buy. That's just my personal thing. It's not like some sort of more like a high ground, like everyone should do this. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the more we buy games and they know that people in Zambia or Africa are buying, then they'll be like, wait a second, that's a region.
Yes.
And they'll come here.
Yes.
And you know what happens when they come here? Sony, look at Samsung. Like Samsung TVs. How many homes have Samsung TVs? How many stores have Samsung TVs? Samsung have good, like, they've targeted Africa as a region.
Yes.
And they have just monopolized pretty much.
Exactly, yeah.
Because things are cheap.
Exactly,
they're cheap.
yeah.
You can buy a good TV for like $4,000, $3,000. A good TV. And then everyone's going like, whoa, Africa, and Sony's coming in and everyone, right?
Yeah.
So the first person to come here wins.
Yeah.
Because there's a huge market here.
Yeah, there's a huge market.
Say Microsoft comes here, dude, they win.
Yeah.
Because the Xbox One will be like, what, 2.5?
Exactly, yeah.
Something like that. Like and that's like at like a full-on price, like retail, 2.5. You're telling me people won't buy an Xbox One for 2,500 or 3,000?
Definitely.
That's good. And games are like, what, 800 kwacha now?
1,000, some of them are going 1,000.
Like 1,000, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They'll come here and sell games at like 300, 400 kwacha. You're telling me you can buy a game at day one for 400 or 300. And then what they do is other games get dropped by half price or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
So you've got, and by other games, you know, gamers, like, owed to them is like 6 months.
Exactly.
So telling me you can't buy Bloodborne for 150 kwacha. That's like a steal.
That would be a steal, yeah.
And what does that do? It means like people are spending cash on games. And they are making money. We are getting games. It's just a whole market.
And also the aspect of, say, for example, Sony, Microsoft come here, they'll be able to sponsor tournaments and stuff. So it's a win-win situation.
Exactly.
This, yeah.
So like it's sad that they don't recognize us from a proper, like, honest standpoint. Pirate your games. Like, they don't care. They actually don't.
Okay. Yeah.
But from a point of like what we would like. Just buy your games. You know, buy your games.
Support
like,
the developers.
Support them.
Like Naughty Dog, I love that developer. So every money that I spent on a Naughty Dog game, I feel good that
it feels really good. Especially like for me with like indie games, I discovered them fairly late-ish. I think like 2009.
Okay.
And I played Bastion. I'm like, wow. Wow. And I was just thinking about Bastion a few weeks ago. I was like, man, that game is like really good. And it's like 6 guys that made it. And now they are like, you know, it's like you can have an E3 presentation for 3 minutes from the makers of Bastion and Transistor, you know, and these are like 6 guys. And they only got there because people supported them.
Yeah.
So, you know, support what you can. Valve right now, like, there's servers in South Africa for Dota 2 because southern region, we're playing a lot of Dota 2.
Yeah.
India has a Dota 2 server. And I think we're going to get a North African or a Central African Dota 2 server because we are playing Dota. So the more you support, they realize. They'll
realize and they'll be able to invest here, and so many opportunities come up for us as gamers. Okay, cool. All right. I think just one last question. I think on events. There was someone who was asking about an MKX event. When we have one, I guess it should be XL now, since there are new characters that have been released. So I don't know when how soon that could come up, or maybe we're talking about the meet. Or will there be a pre-meet this year?
We definitely like to have Mortal Kombat and other tournament events. I think one of the best things we can do is have different games, like different events for different games. spread out across the year.
Okay.
We tried that a bit with the local beatdown, although that was not well organized. We're just feeling out how it can be done, and I really think it can work. I really think that can work if done really if done and organized properly. But yeah, like, man, Mortal Kombat XL, like, I'm into that. The fighting game community is into that. Mortal Kombat XL, Street Fighter 5. I want to try out Pokken Tournament when it comes out.
Oh yes.
And I think Pokken Tournament is one of those that will attract new fighters, even people who don't play fighting games, because Pokemon is huge. There's definitely going to be stuff. LSCon's coming up. This LSCon, we want to make it as fun as possible. So we're doing like a throwback. We're doing a trilogy,
MK trilogy
tournament. That's going to be. I'm really looking forward to that.
Looking forward to that.
That is actually the one fighting game that I am kick ass at.
Okay,
so
cool. That's good.
I'm not a good fighting game player, but Mortal Kombat trilogy, I'm pretty great.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
I'm really looking forward to that, and we'll see what we can add. I think I would like to see a Tekken 3 tournament.
Okay, all right.
Like, I would like to see that.
Tekken 3.
Yeah, I'd like to see some. Teach these young gamers where it's at, how it started.
Okay,
I think that would be fun. I think it would be fun for everyone as well.
Okay, cool. All right, I guess we've come to the end now. How time flies when you're having fun.
True.
So we're coming to the end of the podcast for today. Any last words that you might have?
Any last words? I think, I would really like the community to grow, and I'm very, very thankful for the community we have. I didn't expect us to be like 300, like to 400 strong, like in the space of 3 years.
That's 3 years.
That's incredible. That's really incredible. Like, the first meet we had was at amusement park, and we had like I think 20 25 30 people. That was really fun, but like, you can't compare that to like 200 plus people. That's incredible, right? And like, really would like to thank the community for supporting us, and the community shouldn't feel like that's not Otaku and their community. The community is not Otaku. Without them, there is no Otaku. Everyone is Otaku. So like, just invite your friends, tell them what's fun, let them come see. I know a lot of people who look forward to the meets, but aren't what you would call like necessarily nerdy. They just like that feel, right? So like, just invite more people like that. It will grow the community. It will make Otaku type stuff more ubiquitous in just the general public, and everything will just be more comfortable everywhere. I went to Unilas like 3 weeks ago, and I'm meeting like Emmanuel and Nena, and all these guys, and it's just like, hey, and it's just fun. Like, I like that. Do more of that in your places. You're representatives of Otaku where you are. Be more inviting to everyone. Like, I met a guy that same day and was like, hey, like, I'm into anime. Like, that same day. Like, do more of that yourselves, and the community brings itself. Just more of that.
Right, cool. Then just something that I thought of right now was, is there any do we have a presence on the Copper Belt?
Oh, that's a big one, actually, and we've had that query for a long time.
Copper Belt, or other parts of Zambia?
Yes, and other parts. Yes. One of our plans, it's just a plan for now, is to move the meet to different places each year.
I see. Okay.
I know there's a lot of us in Copper Belt. I know there's a lot of us, and there's a few of us, I think, in Livingston. I think it would be cool if we moved it each year back and forth. A big query is like transport and lodging.
That's the thing.
That would be something we'd have to organize, which is more money, which is business side. Like, that's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? But like, man, that would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah,
because I've never been to the Copper Belt, and I would love to have them meet in the Copper Belt. Like that, and that's a whole bunch of new people.
Exactly.
Who you bring in. Like, imagine what the fighting game... Like, imagine taking our fighting game community guys to the Copper Belt and them getting their asses handed to them by Copper Belt guys and then feeling like, what? We aren't that good?
DMS would be really happy about that.
DMS would be happy about that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, DMS comes and he's like, he wrecks everyone.
He takes Lusaka's money for, what, 2 years straight now?
2 years straight,
2 years straight
now. He literally wrecks everyone. So, like, does that mean that those guys in the Copper Belt are just better than us? I want to know! I want to go there.
Exactly, and experience that. Alright, cool. Okay, so I guess that's the end of the Alien Transmissionz podcast for today. I would really like to say thank you very much, Dennis, for agreeing to appear on the show for this episode. Yeah, really, really thankful for that. Okay, so this has been the Alien Transmissionz podcast. For AlienMyndz, I think I'll be at LSCon. I'll be exhibiting, so unfortunately I won't be able to watch the MK trilogy. Anyway, whenever I have time, I'll pass by there. Yeah, so I hope you get to see me during LSCon. And so basically that's the end of the podcast for today. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day.